Hey, my Padawans. Happy Father's Day 2025. It's a Sunday. I want to congratulate all the fathers out there, all the good dads. You guys are what makes a family. Um, and I want to talk about my father a little bit here. It's mostly for me. I know that a lot of people say, hey, who cares? Who cares about your dad? But there are people around here that like talking about, their fathers being in the military or being in World War II, you know, working, being hard workers, taking care of the family and all that. And that's great. Now, in my case, it's sort of tragic and sad. I never really had a dad. Um, Let me tell you the story. I know it's a little sad for Father's Day, and I know some of you don't have fathers either. Some people here, but I know that, and I don't want to mention any names, but I know some women here that they're very proud of their fathers, and I know that girls are more in tuned and look up to their dads more than males, But I gotta be honest with you. I never really had a father. I hated him. I really did hate him earlier on in my life, like in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, even up to my 40s. Now, he died very young. I think he was 60, and he died a long time ago. I think he died in 96, 97. But I always hated my dad because of what he did to my mother. He betrayed her and cheated on her. My mom dumped my dad. She filed for divorce when I was around five or six. But he would come around like every week to give us money. Well, give her money for clothes and stuff, like help out a little bit. But she didn't want nothing to do with him. He cheated on her with another lady and got her pregnant. And so he had to take care of her. And he also had tons of other women. He was a womanizer, okay? I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of half brothers everywhere. I don't even know where they are, but I know I had half brothers in Mexico, half sisters in Mexico, half sisters in California, half sisters all over the world, the United States. I think I got about a 30 siblings somewhere out there that I never met. My dad was just, I guess you could call it a ladies' man, whatever, He was very proud of being an alpha, an alpha male. But I just hated him, and I always protected my mom. So when he left, when I was about 6, I was in charge of the household because it was me, 3 sisters, and my mom. So I was like the only kid, and I pretended to be like the father. It didn't work out. Of course, it didn't work out because, I grew up with older sisters. I was the youngest, and that was not easy. My dad didn't take care of himself. He had a heart attack when he was like 35. He had open heart surgery when he was like 40. He had another heart attack in his 50s. Another open heart surgery in Mexico City. He had to go to Mexico City to get it done. But going back in time a little bit, my dad came to California in the 50s. As you can see the images here. He came to California from Jalisco, somewhere down in Guadalajara, and he worked in the fields, in the strawberry fields. He came legally. Back then, it was the Cesar Chavez movement. He knew Cesar Chavez, where they would get all these campesinos, to come to work with a permit. But what I understand, he worked for a lot of years somewhere in Fresno, San Francisco, about between Fresno and San Francisco, and his brother had a home in San Francisco, and he was sort of just going up there to help out. Well, my mom. Well, I don't know if he had met my mom yet. That I don't know. I don't know if they were together. I think that was before he met my mom. Yeah, I think that was before. People say that I look just like my dad, and I do have his genetics. I am like him, but I've always tried to be. That's why I don't have kids. That's why, because I said I'm not gonna do the same mistake as my father. That's why. I didn't want to be a deadbeat dad. Now, I don't know if he was a deadbeat dad, but all I know is he wasn't very warm. He wasn't very, emotional. Like, he would come around and just drop off the money. Like, I wouldn't even get a hug or nothing. He was just, very cold. It's like, I'll see you next time. Bye, And my mom became an alcoholic over it. And I know this is sort of sad, but hey, I'm just thinking about Father's Day. Not all fathers are heroes. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Not every father, runs the family unit. I mean, there's dads that are like this that sucked. And I hated him. I really did hate him. Sometimes he would come around and I wouldn't even say hi. I just go outside and play with my Star Wars toys. And if you all know my history, you'll know that I asked him for a Star Wars ship one Christmas. I know Angie makes fun of this. And he got me a used toy with missing guns and missing a canopy. And it was the snow speeder from Empire Strikes Back. And I hated it. I said, why did you give me this like that? Yes, I have some sort of trauma over that. But my dad was also an alcoholic. He would drink tequila all the time. He would go to parties with his friends. The usual, Mexican, Latino, guy. Just drinking, partying, hanging out with women. And I try to avoid being that way. I think so far I've been good. I haven't had a heart attack. I told my doctor, hey, my dad had a heart attack. It's like, you got to walk more. You got to do more exercise. So that's why I do a lot more work. And I don't eat a lot of, he used to eat very fatty foods. Like he didn't take care of himself. He didn't exercise or anything. He just eat garbage, eat junk food, and drink hard liquor. And that's why he died so early. You don't have a heart attack in your 30s and 40s. That's not normal. Eventually, he got married before he died. Here you can see another image where he got married to like a 30-year-old. He was in his 60s, and he got married to a 30-year-old, and he had 3 little girls. 3 girls. My uncles are all dead. His brothers, the one in San Francisco, the one in San Isidro here, they're all gone. Now, I know that hating my dad was not very healthy, I was like, why? Like, every time somebody asked me about my dad, I was like, fuck that guy, I don't want to have nothing to do with him. But I did visit him one time before he died. And I got to meet, my half-sisters. And he died in the shower. He had a heart attack. And he died in the shower. And they couldn't save his life. And I did go to the funeral, the open casket, and I didn't really cry. I was really mad. I don't know why I was so mad at that funeral. I didn't even say hi to anybody. I was just sitting there looking down. Um, and it's true that when you're a kid and you don't have a father figure, and I did not have a father figure, it's true that you go looking around for a father figure. And for me, it was Luke and Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. I know it sounds silly, but the relationship between Luke and his dad parallel to mine. That's why I identify as Luke Skywalker, because his dad was Darth Vader and he was evil, and that's how I got into Star Wars. To me, it's about family, stories, sort of a space soap opera, and it's a tragic, family breakup. But at the end, he saves his dad, and he becomes a Force ghost. Now, I sort of said goodbye to my father when he died, but I was never in touch with him. It's not like I would call him and say, "Hey, how are you, Dad?" I try to avoid him as much because I really hated him. My sisters didn't, though. My sisters loved him. It's like, "Oh, he's the greatest." I'm like, "Are you stupid? What do you mean he's the greatest? Did you just hear my mom tell you what he did? What he did to her? Like cheat on her all the time, come home drunk, at 4 a.m, smelling like other women and cheating on her almost every weekend, and you think that's okay?" So I didn't have any of it. I did grow up with that situation in the family, and it did bother me a lot. Now, is that why I drink Coors Lights? No, that's not why I drink Coors Lights. But I know what I did find out is that I could not live the same life that he did, follow the same timeline, like get married and have tons of kids, get drunk all the time, and pass out in the streets, and be irresponsible. But when he was younger, he worked hard as a farmer, and I just thought it'd be interesting to tell you guys. I'm always open to you, with you guys. I tell you the truth about everything. So I have not celebrated Father's Day in years, probably 30 years. And I don't have a mother. She died in 2008. So I'm kind of an orphan too. I know that Jeff says he's an orphan, but I think I had it bad. Now, I'm not playing victim or anything, but because I had nothing to do with their separation. Anyway, I just thought I'd talk about this. I don't know, maybe get it off my chest. It's a sad. I know it's sad, but I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. Was he a good guy? Was he just misunderstood? Did my mom cause the separation? Did something happen that I don't know about? I always wondered that. But I always knew that my mom was telling me the truth about what happened. And do I still hate my father? I don't know how I can answer that, because he's dead. He's dead. He passed away. But yes, I think I still hate him. And that's not good, How do I get over that? I don't know. And I did look for other, like I said, Darth Vader and Luke became my father figure. George Lucas became my father figure. Art Bell. Later in the 90s, I sort of looked at him like my father. Because a kid has to have a father. There's just no way that you're gonna have a one-sided, raise a male kid with just the mother. It doesn't work. I can tell you it does not work. And my mom never got married again. She had a lot of boyfriends that were drunks all the time, drunk. All she got was drunk boyfriends. So I never had a stepfather. I never had nothing like that. Uh, so maybe you understand a little bit more why I really don't care about Father's Day, but I do want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day. And if you have a dad, call him, go out with him, you know, give him a hug, treat him with respect. No, I never had the chance because I was like 6 years old and I didn't know anything about, you know, father son relationships. How the hell would I know? I was 6, you know. I started understanding the father and son relationship when I was like in my 40s and 50s. You know, I still don't get it. I still don't know. Like my dad, I never had a father. You know, like take me to a game or take me anywhere. And when he died, I got nothing. He didn't even leave me his anything. Not even a car, not nothing. You know, people get gifts from their dads all the time, like, you know, cars when they graduate and something like. I never got any of that. I just nothing. It's just he was just gone. I want to wish you all, the good fathers and the good dads, a happy Father's Day. See you guys later, and may the force be with you. Bye.